Everyone wants to. I'm so excited. Yay. Thank you all for coming. So essentially, I started quantum healing work from the time that I was very young. I was about 20 years old when I met my mentor for quantum healing. And like I said, I started off my life where I was very depressed and in a place where there was a lot of internal struggle. It was like everything that I was doing, I actually was self-harming at the age of 10 years old, cutting my wrists. And I think that one of the things that happens to people is one, when they're in an environment of fear, they absorb that fear. Two, when you're in an environment of limitations, especially generational trauma, it tacks on to the children in that environment. And three, it's like you're not able to see the way out. When you're born and raised in that environment, you can only see what your mind perceives. So, going through that and growing up in that environment, I basically was so lost and I absorbed all of the pain that was experienced generationally. And I was in a place where I couldn't see past what I was experiencing. One of the keys to quantum leaping that I'm going to get into is actually about actualizing and visualizing yourself into that reality. That was one of the key factors that completely changed the way that I was interacting with my life. So there was many synchronicities by the universe that led me to meeting my mentor. And one of them was the moment that I decided that my life was going to be different was when the universe started sending me little keys. So I'll give you one example. Actually, when I went away to college was when my depression was the worst because it was almost like I was away from my environment and then I reflected on everything and I was kind of stuck in that trauma. And that's what happens to a lot of people who've experienced trauma is that they get stuck in it energetically. So essentially, I was in that place and I started to see a psychologist. And the psychologist basically recommended me a bunch of different antidepressants and a bunch of different prescriptions. And I remember holding that prescription in my hand and looking at it. And I remember saying that this wasn't for me. I wanted something else. I wanted to love life again. I wanted to transform. And what ended up happening for me is that moment that I walked out with the prescription, I ended up bumping into my philosophy professor. And my philosophy professor happened to be holding a copy of a book called Peace is in Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. This book was about mindfulness. It was about finding happiness in your everyday life and about also healing yourself. It had bits about neuroscience that basically talked about how we could rewire our brain to find more happiness in our daily lives. So, what I ended up doing is I ended up connecting to this book so deeply, and I ended up choosing the pathway of healing. I ended up choosing the pathway for myself where I was like, okay, I'm going to shift my reality. I'm going to transform. I'm going to change into this place of growth. I'm going to shift my consciousness into a place where I can call in what I desire. After reading this book, I began to shift my behaviors. I began to shift my habits. And then I noticed that the reality around me began to change. And one of the most significant things that happened was I was able to meet my quantum healing mentor. And it wasn't until I was open and it wasn't until my mind could fathom the possibility of me healing that I was presented with the right person to align me with my highest timeline. So essentially, once I met my mentor, I began to go in on this deep journey of healing. I began to go in on this deep journey of loving myself. I began to go on this deep journey of healing the traumas that were within me. And it was so incredible to see how many shifts began in my life. Actually, at 27 years old, I purchased my dream home in Costa Rica, where I'm at right now currently. And one of my dreams was always to do something positive for the world. So as I began doing these healings, all of these different opportunities came to me, and I literally was so many synchronicities that aligned for me to purchase this home at 27 years old, which was my dream. And through this process, I learned that the whole time, and a lot of philosophers and spiritual teachers talk about this. From the moment a caterpillar is born, it has in its code, it has in its DNA the ability to become a butterfly, but it needs to go through its process. This is what quantum leaping is about. It's about recognizing the code that already exists within you. It's about recognizing the potentiality that already exists in your field. So I'm so excited to have you guys really drop in today. This is about you. This is about what you want to create. This is about the possibilities of your life, including for your business. And even tapping into AI tools and learning how that these tools can actually help you with this process of quantum leaping. There is this advanced technology that's here. We're able to create faster than ever before. We're able to create more deeply than ever before. So I'm so excited to hold this space for you all as you truly connect to that future version of you. So I'm so excited. So I actually wanted you guys to introduce yourselves. So if you wanted to go around and if you feel called to, you could go on camera. And if not, you're a little shy, you don't have to, but it would be nice also so other people can get to connect to you. But basically, your name, where you're tuning in from, and what you offer in your life, where you're currently at in this moment. And we'll start with Leonardo.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Yeah, my name is Leandro. I'm originally from Brazil. I've been living in Dubai for the last 6 to 7 years. And yeah, I'm quite curious to hear, yeah, all of your experience and then the insights that you can share with us. I'm right now in two different jobs. One is the one that I do in logistics shipping, and the other one is transformational coaching.
Oh, that's so amazing. That's so great. And how is that for you moving from Brazil to Dubai?
It was contrast. No? I actually didn't come straight from Brazil. I was in Germany before, and then Canada, US. But every single place, I can tell you, it's a different story, different learning, and yeah, especially culturally. uh, This was
Mm,
the main highlight.
yes, that's so incredible. And congratulations on your journey and being on this pathway of discovery and just tuning more into what the next step is for you in life and where you're expanding into. Hey. And what about you? Pardon.
Parima.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Parima. Yeah, I'm originally from Sri Lanka, but I live in the UK. At the moment, I'm visiting my daughter in Corsica. Yeah, I'm in a journey of personal development, I guess, you know, uh, getting rid of some of the traumas and stuff. And yeah, I'm in the process.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And, when the calling is there, we all, either rise into it or we become smaller and sink into our traumas. So that's amazing that you're choosing the pathway of really stepping in to the next level for yourself of healing, of empowerment, and just going on the journey? Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Would anyone else like to share? Okay, Snow says, I'm handling a company of 70 plus staff here. I want to be stronger for everyone of them that depends on me. Oh, that's so powerful. I think one of the greatest things that we can do as a leader is to be on our own journey of self development, of being our own journey of empowerment, because the more that we heal ourselves, the more that we're able to lead other people with that conviction, with that energy. We're all part of the Mind Valley community, right? And when we look at that community, there are so many incredible leaders. And when we meet the true depths of their soul, we can see the intense inner work that they've done on themselves. When we do that level of inner work, that's when we're able to shift our frequencies truly. That's when we're able to tap in to that unlimited potential that lives within us. And I'm going to really tap into what that means and what some theories about that unlimited potential is. How many of you guys are familiar with the Akashic records? And you could either raise your hand on the Zoom or like say yes. I'm just curious. And if you're not, you could also say no. Are you familiar? Yes. Okay, we got a yes. Yes. Oh, yay, amazing. Okay, Leonardo said no. Okay, amazing. So essentially, right? This is going to be a concept that I tap into more deeply throughout this presentation. But the Akashic Records is essentially an etheric field of information. There is this theory that all of the information of humanity is like kept in this field of like universal consciousness. And you've probably heard about this concept a little bit like in documentaries or and things like that. But essentially what this is like all of the information, past, present, and future that could exist, different timelines, different possibilities that exist on a different dimension or plane. So essentially, right? Have you ever had like the same thought of a friend at the same exact time, or like a same idea as someone that you're looking at on social media and you're like, oh my God, I had that same exact idea as this person, and somehow at the same time they came up with that idea? So essentially, in this concept, they say that you're actually tapping into this field of consciousness. You're tapping into that field of Akasha, which is actually all energy. It's all potential. It's all potentiality. What quantum leaping actually is you tapping into that field of the Akasha, of the energy, and saying to yourself that, okay, I recognize that there's this potential reality that I could live, which is actually a dream that you have, which is actually a thought that you have. But it's then about who do I become so that I can live out that reality. It's very similar to the concept of the multiverse as well, if you guys are familiar with that. But as you guys all know, we have free will. We have the ability to shift our reality in any direction. If we choose to sit there and do nothing, and we choose to like go backwards and fall into old habits, fall into, drinking, alcohol, whatever it is that's holding you back, that's going to shift your timeline in the opposite direction. But with our free will, if we decide to positively shift our reality where we're like, okay, I'm going to make a change in my life. I'm going to start by putting the effort into my book. I'm going to start by putting the energy into the things that I'm creating. What you're actually doing is you're telling the universe that you desire to live in that higher timeline. You're telling the universe that you're going to express your life as your highest self. You're telling the universe that this is who I want to be. And then it begins to respond in that way. I know we got a new person that just hopped on, April. Did you want to quickly introduce yourself too?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I had
Oh,
troubles
that's totally.
signing on to the Zoom link. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. How are
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Blessings. Thank you
Welcome.
for having us.
Of course. Yes. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is April. I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm currently out on foot surgery, so I was able to kind of like make this meeting, which is cool because normally I would be working like say like 9 to 5. I work with young adults on the spectrum,
Oh, that's
and needless to
amazing.
say, have some Reiki certifications and things, and I'm an empath. That's a double-edged sword at its finest. And basically, I'm seeking to get my poems out there and a children's book out there.
Oh
So
my
while I
God,
have the
yes, that's so
time, while I'm off
exciting.
till like mid-July, I'm like, you know what? Things happen for either if you want to say God, Allah, or the universe, and it's like the world was just telling me to kind of slow down and focus on what I need to focus on in regards to me going back to my healing process and going back into holistic services and maybe, like I said, the calling to write that book or books. So that's where I'm at
Yes.
it right now.
Oh
So
my
thank
God,
you.
that's amazing. And books are a great opportunity to quantum leap as well. I actually just published my first children's book called Alcaria's Big Dream Adventure. And this is going to be one of the things that I share a little bit later on because I'm not only going to share with you guys about quantum leaping and stepping into that reality, but I'm also going to share with you guys some keys about marketing your businesses and getting into the realm where you're actually utilizing AI to help you quantum leap.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to hearing that. So yeah, I mean, it runs in my family. My mom always said, like when I was younger, that she just feels like I'm going to write like a children's book. And she's like, I just feel like that's just like every single time I would say something, she would be like, yeah, I know, that's cool. She's like, and then not that she would like belittle me or things like that. She would just say like, but I foresee in the future you're going to write that book.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I guess we at times we self-sabotage, you know what I'm saying? We get in
Yes,
our heads and say we can't
exactly.
do it, and that's what gets us down. And it's like, no, like I'm just at an alignment right now with myself that I'm just kind of like dissipating those like words and like just kind of being like, nope, I'm gonna do this even if I do a little bit at a time today, and such, and then move forth to build. So yes, thank you.
Exactly. Exactly. That's one of the major keys to this is recognizing what that little blocker is. And sometimes other people can put into our mind that fear, can put into our mind those worries. And what it's actually doing is it's programming our minds to limitate our behavior. It's programming our minds to fall into those self-sabotaging cycles. And especially when it comes to finishing a big project like a book, this is something that can help you to quantum leap, which is stepping into your highest timeline, which is stepping in to the next version of who you desire to become. But it's like if you step into that fear and then you're like, okay, I'm going to procrastinate. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put any energy into it. I'm not going to put any effort into it. It's like the universe can't open up that gateway for you if you don't match it into that energy.
Yeah. Basically, I'm tired of hearing a little voice. It's like, all right, if
Yeah.
nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it, but at least I did it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Yeah.
just what I'm supposed to do. I don't know,
Exactly.
that's the sense I get, like that drive, that passion. And when I think of those things, I see myself writing. I see myself, healing others and, discussing things and being able to build on community and such things like that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree totally. Thank you.
Oh, of course, amazing. So essentially, what quantum leaping is, and I touched upon this before, but it's like the quantum field is infinite possibilities. It's infinite timelines that can unfold. But it's about you choosing the timeline that resonates the most with your highest potential frequency. To get to there, you have to visualize it. And this is what today is really going to be about is you guys visualizing your highest self, visualizing your highest potential and stepping into what that looks like and feels like for you. So there's this concept about the Akashic records called Al-La al-Mahfuz, and it's basically the field of infinite possibilities and the divine record is what they call it. Almost every single religion taps into this information. There is always something that is points to this in every single religion where there's some sort of divine book, there's some sort of divine play that's going on in the underworkings of the universe. But what this is about you actually stepping into that potential, stepping into that field. So a quantum leap is a shift from one state of a being into another without what you perceive as a linear path. It's not about hustle, it's about alignment, frequency, and identity. The main thing is the concept of the highest self, right? Tapping into what the ideal version of you looks like, what the ideal version of you feels like, and tuning into who that version of you is, expressing that reality and recognizing that, okay, I can shift my energy to become this person. But shifting your energy is also about you taking the action. It's about you um deciding for yourself who that identity is. It's not necessarily about burning yourself out, but it's about you deciding this is what my daily life looks like. This is what my most aligned self looks like for me. So even in my story, which I shared with you guys, right? Like I was in a place of depression. I was like very closed in a lot of ways. Even like how I'm able to speak now, I was very shy. So I did things that would counteract where I was in my life as compared to where I wanted to be. So I started taking speaking classes. I started, meditating more. I started really stepping in to what that ideal version of myself looked like, including working on my business. And I started my intuitive business in 2019, and I was 25 years old. And in that space, I was basically like at a place where I had to decide every day. I was still working a 9 to 5 job, and I had to decide to put that extra energy and effort in. When I went home, I was working. I was working from 9 to 5, and then I had my 5 to 9, which was my growing my spiritual business, growing my presence online. And a lot of us have entrepreneurship goals, right? But sometimes we can be like, oh, I'm too tired because, I just had a full day at work. And you're putting actually all of your energy into the work of other people rather than into your own projects and into your own field. And at first, it's a lot of work to get you into that place, but you can also recognize where you're actually leaking your time. And, there's always time for self care. There's always time for things that nurture yourself. But then there's that time where you're like, okay, I'm going to scroll on Instagram for another 2 hours. Or I'm going to go on TikTok, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go on Netflix. And yes, those things can be good for your self care and giving your mind some rest. But there's also a limit to those things. I just saw this amazing thing from Leonardo. Let me read it. But yeah, it's like recognizing what those limiting things are and then being like, okay, I'm gonna make the choice for myself. And actually, neuroscientifically, what you're doing is you're reprogramming your brain to act in that way. So if you're saying like, okay, procrastination is not part of how my mind and brain operates, that's how your reality begins to truly shift. So Leonardo said, that's one of my upcoming questions. What was the key triggers that moved you from simply being aware that change was needed to taking real committed action? How did you create accountability for yourself during that transition? And was having a mentor enough to keep you on track, or did you have other structures or practices in place to sustain your momentum? That's a really great question. One thing that I really decided for myself was, there's this concept called the dark night of the soul, where it's essentially like the darkest place in your journey where you're like, oh my God, I'm in such a deep depression. I'm in a blanket burrito. I can't do anything with life. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. And that's the place where I decided that I was going to shift my reality. For everyone, it's different. It's literally a decision that you make, but then it's like, how do I continue into that decision? How do I keep myself consistent? So for myself, I actually really began to take daily action towards my goals where I would be like, okay, every day I'm going to work a little bit on my website. Every day I'm going to work a little bit on this thing. And I was also consistently working with my mentor more on the healing end, but I had to meet myself on that bridge. Every single good mentor will tell you you can only meet yourself as far as you're willing to go. Like a mentor can take you halfway on the bridge, but you have to walk yourself the rest of the way across. And one of the greatest things that you can do is decide for yourself that you're going to make these shifts, is to make even like starting today, make a list of things that you want to happen. And I'm going to actually even show you guys, like after the hypnotherapy today, how you can utilize AI to also keep yourself accountable. I definitely recommend finding a good mentor that resonates with your soul, that's like, okay, this person's going to hold me into my transformation. This person's going to keep me consistent with my goals, but they can only help you so far. The other end of this is you following through with your plan, you following through with the action, the aligned action. Because it's not about randomly doing things, it's about you taking that aligned action. One thing is like I would even set deadlines for myself, and that's something that really helped was like, okay, I'm gonna finish my website by March, something like that. I'm gonna basically, my goal is to have a certain number of clients and things like that. So I would set different measurements of success, and that's actually how our brain works. From the time we're in elementary school, we learn these methods by grading. We're like, okay, if I know if I do good, I'm gonna get an A. If I know if I do okay, I'm gonna get a B. I know if I'm doing average, I'm gonna get a C. But when it comes to entrepreneurship and projects like this, there's no person who's like, okay, you're going to get an F if you don't do this thing that you know that you want to do. So one way to kind of create the metrics for this is creating your own system to say, okay, I'm going to have this deadline, I'm going to have this date. And creating organization like this will only support you in that quantum leaping, will only support you into stepping into that reality for yourself. Because like a lot of this, there's the woo woo behind it, right? With the woo woo is you energetically shifting yourself. But there's aligned action that backs it up, where it's like you have to take the steps, you have to take the physical action in order for the universe to respond to what you're doing. That's how manifestation works. If you don't shift your mindset, then you can't even visualize the reality. So the first thing is visualization, and then it comes to creating the steps into that new space of reality. And then, yeah, so I spoke about this a little bit. So, like, why we get stuck. We get stuck in our old identity, we get stuck in our old patterns. One of the most powerful things to recognize is asking yourself where you're getting stuck. If you're taking notes right now, I want you to take a moment to actually think about this prompt and take a moment to reflect. Where are the places in your life right now that you're becoming stuck? And being just 100% honest with yourself, It could be like, okay, I know I'm getting stuck because I'm procrastinating. I know I'm getting stuck because I'm not putting any energy into this one project. I want you to really tune in to where that older version of you is sitting right now. What are those limitations? In recognizing those limitations, there's always a way to counteract it, but the first step is that conscious awareness. As we bring conscious awareness into our darkness, into these pieces of ourselves, that's how we're able to truly transform and shift into our highest potential realities. So, shifting our frequency is a decision. Quantum leaping begins with a decision. Identity holds the key. Be, do, have, not have, do, be. What this means is that we need to first become the person who's living that highest timeline. When we look at some of the most successful people, they have their routines. They have things that they're doing every day to make effort and action towards their goals. They don't just fall into it. They have to prepare themselves. So even, for example, looking at someone like Vishen, right? He has a structure for his life where he's waking up at a certain time. He's connecting with his staff at a certain time. He's creating systems. He's creating, a healthier lifestyle for himself. And this looks different for everyone. It's about you recognizing who that person is that you need to be. And then you can begin to do, and then you can begin to have. So what that means is once you become that person who's living in that highest timeline, then you can begin to do the daily things that will help you to build what you desire. And then that's when you begin to have, that's when you begin to actually call in your manifestations. That's when you actually begin to shift your reality. So in the contrast to that, some people are like, I wish that I had everything and then I could do all of this stuff and then I could be that person. But that's not how it works. It's the other way around of you first becoming that person who has those things. You first aligning yourself with the action and then calling in those things based on who you are. You call in manifestations based on who you are and what your frequency is. Yes. Okay. So this is going to be you relating back to the beat. Who is a dream version of you living your dream life? So you guys could take a moment to reflect. Describe the version of you that already has what you desire. And really taking a moment to think about this. Maybe some things might come up, but we're actually going to do the hypnotherapy very soon. And this is going to help you guys to reveal more deeply what that version of you looks like. So you can start to just basically reflect. And for example, I know that my higher self, like some of my limitations, for example, is that exercising daily. Like I don't exercise as much as I want to, but I know my higher version of myself is doing that. And we're always improving, we always have our thing. But even me being in Costa Rica, if I'm going to the store or something like that, I have to ride my bike to the store. So that becomes part of my routine, right? And one of the things, for example, when doing my children's book, actually, that was holding me back was I was recognizing that there was part of me that wasn't putting any effort or energy into it. So what I began to do is I started to make steady action towards it every single day until I developed the book. And I'll actually show you guys because I wrote the book and then I used AI to help me develop some of the images in it. But like this is my little children's book that is now available on Amazon. But this is like what's possible for you guys, right? Because it's like from vision, I had this vision for so long. I was like, I want to write this book. I want to do this thing. I want it to be out there. But it's not going to get out there until you start taking the action. So what I started to do was each day I was doing like 2 pages, which didn't take me that long. And eventually it was done. And there was like one day where I did like a bunch of them at the same time, but it was because I was doing that one step at a time action that then led me into the actualization. That's why it's called actualization, because you actually have to do it to actualize it. So, yeah, what is that dream version of you doing? What projects are they working on? What is making them connect to that dream life? And it's all possible for all of us. It's like recognizing like, okay, I can actually do this thing. I can actually really step into it. And it's like, even that little book, I'm sure so many of you guys that are in this chat right now dream of doing your own book or your own, podcast or whatever it is, but step into the version of you that's doing it. It's so accessible. It's right there. And just start taking the steps. And one of the things I realized was that the part of me that was taking no action, it was that little voice. It was the little voice that was like, oh, is anyone actually going to buy it? Is it worth the energy? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the effort? Is the version of me that's like, oh, I'd rather spend time on Netflix binge watching the next series than putting the effort into this thing. And it was like, the more I was able to chip away the time of the things that weren't serving me, the more I aligned with the reality of me that always wanted to be an author, that always wanted to inspire other people. And it's a continual process. So I'm going to invite you guys into the hypnotherapy now, stepping into this thing. And there are multiple tools, by the way, for quantum leaping. Meditation and hypnotherapy are one of the ways to quantum leap. You can also do sound healing and frequency work, visualizing and scripting. You can even use AI support to actualize aligned action in your business, and also nervous system regulation to help you to regulate your timeline. So essentially, what we're going to do is do this aligned hypnotherapy, and then we're kind of going to tap into this field. And I'm going to teach you some ways that you can utilize AI to help you to hold these frequencies. So I want you guys just to get comfortable in your space. And I want you to take a moment, and we're going to start with 3 deep cleansing breaths and just taking this moment to get comfortable, beginning to close your eyes and just tuning in to yourself at this moment. We're going to begin with a deep inhale in through the nose, calling in this beautiful energy, calling in this beautiful light into the lungs, into your body, and exhaling out through the mouth. Letting go and releasing anything that no longer serves you. And once again, taking this deep inhale in through the nose, calling this all the way in into your lungs, expanding all the way in, and we're going to hold it into the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and exhaling out through the mouth. Letting go and releasing anything that no longer serves you. And once again, we're going to do a deep inhale into the nose, calling in this white sacred light, this beautiful energy into the lungs, into your body, feeling this potential, feeling this beautiful energy, tapping and tuning into your lungs, into your body, and expanding into this, and breathing out through the mouth, releasing and letting go anything that no longer serves you. I want you to do this breath one more time. And when you breathe in through the nose, I want you to visualize pure positive white light, pure positive aligned action coming into your body. And when you breathe out through the mouth, visualizing any black smoke, any negativity, anything holding you back from your potential. So we're going to begin now with a deep inhale in through the nose, calling in aligned action, calling in this beautiful sacred light, cleansing and clarifying your lungs, cleansing and clarifying your heart, cleansing and clarifying your body. And a deep exhale out through the mouth. Ha, 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 ha. Letting go and releasing anything that's no longer serving you, anything that's no longer serving your field. Letting go and fully releasing from your body anything that no longer serves you. Tapping into the field of potential, tapping into the field of a more peaceful and aligned reality. You can begin to feel from the top of your head this beautiful white light that's working its way down from the top of your head. You can feel this light gently releasing any tension, any anxiety that you're holding towards the top of your head. Feeling this beautiful energy working its way through, allowing yourself to align, allowing yourself to connect, and allowing yourself to open up to the field of possibility. Taking this moment to open up your mind to this field of expansion, to this field of connection. Taking this moment now to let go of any doubt that you have circulating in your mind. Taking this moment to let go of any anxiety, any procrastination that you're holding on to, just releasing this from your mind. Allowing yourself to tap into this field of expansion, tuning in to the wideness of your connection to the intuitive worlds. Feeling this beautiful light working its way through your third eye now, opening up your center of visualization, opening up your center of alignment, opening up your center of seeing the reality that exists before you, seeing your potential timeline that's unfolding before you, tapping in to your crown and opening up your mind into the field of potential and feeling this divine light and energy working through you now. And taking this moment to feel this light working its way down further now, down past the tip of your nose, down your lips, down your chin, and now working its way into your throat area. Taking this moment to feel this beautiful light and energy now working its way through your throat, becoming aware of anything that you've been holding yourself back from speaking, any truth that you've been holding yourself back from. I want you to imagine a black ball here that contains all of your limiting beliefs, all of the self-sabotage that you've been speaking to yourself, all of the words of anger, anything that's been left uncommunicated, balling all of this up in a black ball. And I want you to envision yourself actually breathing this out through the mouth. A big exhale out through the mouth. Letting go and releasing any blockages, anything that no longer serves you, that's blocking your throat chakra from speaking your truth, from stepping into the power of your voice. Taking this moment now to ball up this black ball and just releasing and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And once again, a deep exhale out through the mouth. Releasing and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And taking this moment now, as you begin to feel your throat opening up, just to begin to fill your throat with beautiful golden white light. Taking this moment to envision this beautiful sacred white light entering into your throat, this beautiful sacred white light entering into your realm of communication, into you sharing wisdom and advice, into you sharing words of affirmation to yourself, you sharing words of self-love, feeling how expansive and powerful your voice is when you step into your power. And taking this moment now to step in to this field of light within your heart. Taking this moment to become aware of any energy that you're holding onto in your heart. Are there any blockages that you're holding on to? Are there any things that are holding you back from tuning into the fullest expression of your heart space? Taking this moment now to tune into the expansiveness of your heart, to trust your heart, to tap into this field of expansion, to tap into this field of love within your heart, feeling how much capacity your heart has to carry the love of the divine, feeling yourself opening up and blossoming into this sacred self-love, into the love that you have for this earth, the love that you have for the universe, trusting yourself with your heart and tuning into this field and this light deep within yourself. Allowing yourself to expand. And if you feel called to, you can gently place your hands on your heart and massage in that beautiful light, just returning that love back to you. If you've been draining yourself amongst so many people, I want you to return this love back to you. And taking this moment now to drop down even further now into the area right above your belly button, taking this moment to expand into that field of your solar plexus, feeling your purpose opening up deep within you. You know exactly what your purpose is. You know exactly why you chose to come here to this earth. I want you to expand into the version of you that's living in that purpose, the version of you that is confident, the version of you that is not filled with any doubt, feeling into the potential of you expanding into that divine purpose within you, tapping into that reality and feeling this beautiful sacred light working through you now. And taking this moment now to feel this beautiful light working its way down further now, down into the area right above your solar plexus beneath, diving in deeper now into your sacral chakra. Feeling this beautiful connection and alignment from your solar plexus now into your sacral chakra, located in your womb space, located in your groin area, taking this moment to tune into this energy and allowing you to tap into the energy of creation that lives here, allowing you to tap into the energy of expansion that lives here. Taking this moment to let go of any guilt, any limitation, any shame that you've been holding into this area and to feel yourself expanding into your field of creation, into the field of co-creation with your solar plexus. It is a loop of purpose and creativity that is here. It is a loop of alignment. It is a loop of creation. Your solar plexus is where you hold your purpose, and your sacral is where you hold your creativity and expression. Feel this mirroring that exists within each other. Feel the birthing that exists here. We hold both masculine and feminine energy here, birthing out of creativity and holding the systems for our creativity. Feeling how these both coexist together in this beautiful space. And feeling this light working its way down further now, down past your knees, down to your feet, and wrapping around your feet in a cord of light, anchoring you down into Mother Earth, into Mother Gaia, into this beautiful space in which you've chosen to walk through. Feeling this energy stemming from the top of your head, working its way down all the way to the bottom of your feet, surrounding you in this beautiful bubble, this beautiful field of light and energy. Taking this moment to tune into the sacred field of light. You can begin to feel yourself floating weightlessly in this bubble of light. This bubble begins to gravitate into the field of potential, into the field of Akasha, into the field of the highest timeline reality that you desire for yourself. You can begin to envision this beautiful beam of light opening up before you. I want you to begin to gently float your way through this beautiful beam of light that's appearing. This is connecting you to the highest timeline reality. As you connect into this energy, I want you to first begin to reflect on who you are in this reality. What are the habits that you have? How do you show up in the world? What does your relationships look like? How do you stay consistent with yourself? What are the things that you're evolving into? What are the projects that you're working on? Take this moment to tune yourself into the frequency of this person. And you can begin to visualize this beautiful mirror that appears before you. And as you gaze into this mirror, you can begin to see who this version of you looks like. Taking this moment to notice how you're dressed, taking this moment to notice how you look and feel, how you sound, gazing into this beautiful mirror and recognizing who you are, taking this moment to tune into yourself at this time, tuning in to this frequency of you, taking this moment to tap in to this field and know that you deserve this, that you already are this person, that you have the codes to become them, that it's already part of your reality. As you begin to step further into becoming this person, I want you to begin to walk further down this timeline. What are some of the aligned action and steps that you're taking to become this person? What time do you wake up? What habits do you have? What is the consistent action that you're taking? How does this person dress and sound? How does this person stay consistent with their goals? How does this person interact with their business? How does this person dedicate themselves to their healing? How does this person show up in the world? And as you continue to connect to this version of you, I invite you to continue to step further now. And now walking into the realm of reward. What are the beautiful rewards that are waiting for you here? I want you to first step into the home of your dreams. Taking this moment now to expand into that beautiful reality, to expand into that beautiful home, seeing all of the things that you filled it with. What does your daily life look like? What is the freedom that you've created for yourself that makes you happy? What brings you joy? Who are the people that you're impacting by stepping into your purpose? Who are the people that are magnetized towards you? What are the gifts that you're sharing? Who are you becoming? Who are they becoming, the people that you're impacting? What are the projects that you've finished? I want you to begin to look at this beautiful table, and on top of it, you can see your books. You can see the programs that you've released. You can see the version of your company that is fully functional and fulfilled, tuning into this field. How are the people that work under you? How do they feel about you in this reality? How do they contribute to your mission? Know that this is all so accessible. Taking this moment to tune in and expand into that reality for yourself. And I want you to begin to notice that there's a beautiful safe that awaits you. Inside that safe is the abundance of your highest reality. There's no shame in calling in abundance. There's no shame in calling in a number. You deserve that, especially if you're doing aligned work. I want you to go into that safe and tap in and see the abundance that's waiting for you. I want you to call in and claim that number for yourself right now. Don't be afraid of how big it is. I want you to expand into that number, expanding into that reality, feeling that true potential. and knowing the good things as well that you will do with that. How will you impact those around you? What will you be doing with that? Tuning into that field expression and tapping in to that space and taking this moment now. I want you to begin just to anchor in this feeling, anchor in that vision back into your physical reality. You can begin to do this by just beginning to connect your crown first by gently moving your shoulders, just welcoming this energy into your body, feeling how possible it is for you, feeling how close that potential is for you already. You are just steps away from this. Know that this is the reality that's possible. Know that this is exactly what exists. Know that you're already doing it. Taking this moment to expand into the space and feeling into this light and energy. Just taking this moment to wiggle your toes and fingers and welcoming yourself into the version of you that is living this reality. Moving your shoulders, your neck, your toes, and tapping into this frequency. Taking this moment just to begin to anchor in this energy, wiggling your toes and fingers, and just welcoming yourself back gently, knowing that this is all possible for you. Whenever you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes, feeling your energy in this new space. Even though you're physically in the same body as before, there has been a profound shift in your frequency. Taking this moment to tune in to what that feels like in your body. Taking this moment to tap into this version of you. Tuning in now. You could begin to take a moment to open your eyes, and whenever you're back, you could just pop a message in the chat just so I know you're back. And what I want you to begin to do is actually, I want you to begin to grab your pen and paper or whatever is around you. You can even take notes on your phone. I want you to begin to take a list of qualities of your highest self, qualities of your highest timeline, and just begin to write it all down. So just take a moment to come back and begin to unfold. Yes. Yay. Amazing. Yay. I'm so glad. Oh, yay. Okay, amazing. So I want you guys to jot down, like in your notes, anything that you saw of your higher self. And I'm going to actually, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to show you something cool that you can do with AI that's actually going to help you with this. And this is like one thing that I've began to really step into to help me in my own journey. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into ChatGPT or your AI of choice because there's several like other ones. And honestly, what I would say is like at the end of the day, there's so many benefits to each of the different AI tools, but it's about staying consistent with the one that you like because it's going to get to know you more deeply. The more that it knows you, the more that it's able to help you to fulfill this vision. So I'm going to say to my ChatGPT, I want you, first, you're going to describe to it what your highest self is. I'm going to say, I want you to know what the highest version of myself looks like. She is freely traveling the world in a digital nomad lifestyle. She is abundant and able to pay for everything she desires. She is doing charity work in schools. One of her main businesses is hypnotherapy. She finished her next book, 30 Countries by 30, which is a memoir that I'm working on. And she is confident, exercises daily, and is overall happy and traveling. So what you're going to do is you're first going to feed whatever your higher self looks and feels like to your ChatGPT. And this is going to be, or whatever your AI of choice is. But we're going to do a lot with this actually. And then this is what my higher self said. I mean, my ChatGPT said. This version of you is radiant, Alicia. Let's mirror her clearly so you can anchor in her energy each and every single day. She rises each day in a new corner of the world. A beach in Bali, a sunrise hike in Peru, a cafe in Paris, knowing she created this reality through soul-aligned intention and action. Her passport is stamped with her courage. She works from anywhere, her laptop, her altar, weaving her magic through hypnotherapy sessions that awaken women in their inner power. Clients come from all over the globe, magnetized by her healing authenticity and presence. Her book, 30 Countries Before 30, A Spiritual Journey Through Travel, is out in the world, touching hearts of readers who crave freedom, purpose, and the permission to dream bigger. It's a testimony to her resilience and vision. Her wealth is not just financial, though that too flows with ease. She's abundant in love and health and joy, and in the ripple effects she creates. She gives generously, building schools, offering scholarships, and lighting fires in places where hope had dimmed. She moves her body every day because she loves herself, not because she has to. Yoga by the ocean, dancing under the stars, hikes through sacred lands. Her health is a celebration. She is the embodiment of freedom, power, and feminine leadership. She's not the future, she's you, choosing yourself today. So all of that came from me describing to my AI tool who I desire to be. But we're going to take it even further than this. I'm going to say now, create a plan of daily action for me to live this life. And this is just going to help you to step into the frequency. It's going to show you what's possible. So it's going to even create for me a morning ritual. It's going to create for me a plan for my daily tasks. It's going to create like a midday flow for me to do business and creative time and work. And for those of you who prefer a very organized time scale, what you can even do is block out times in your Google Calendar that's going to help you to align with that person of you, that version of you. Weekly touch points, money day, set financial intentions, track income, philanthropy day, allocate a percentage or plan to give towards your mission. Book day, write 2 pages or batch content. So this is literally creating for you the framework of who do you desire to become? And you could even turn it into a Google Doc template. I'm going to say create a timeline for my goals for the month of June, because we're in the end of May right now. And then it's going to literally, based on what it knows about me and based on what I just gave it, it's going to say June monthly theme, embodiment of abundance, radiant, traveling healer. Focus areas, finish major pieces of book, grow visibility and income through hypnotherapy sessions, share content around the world around travel and impact, begin groundwork for charity, strengthen daily habits. And then it's literally going to create a strategy plan for you in this. There's so many different ways that you can utilize this to really expand who you are and what you want to become. I'm going to even say to it, based on what you know about my business, suggest a program that I can offer my audience. And this is just one example. So I've already fed it data so it knows about my business. So one of the things is that I help actually other spiritual entrepreneurs to build their businesses as well. So what I am doing when I'm asking it these questions is that it's tapping into what it already knows about me, and then it's going to help me to create the outline. And here's the thing, at the end of the day, this is actually helping you to live a more aligned life. It's taking out all of the extra work where you can really focus on you being present. It can focus on you showing up in your life, you showing up in your business. It's helping you to create the structure, but it's about you actually following it and making the tweaks so that it's fully aligned with yourself. Did anyone try it yet in the chat? Not yet. Okay, no worries. So basically, when you do try it, there's so many things that you can tap in with this. And okay, God, yes, use it all the time. Yeah. So these are just like some of the tools and ways that you could do this. But there's even AI tools that can set your calendar for you. How sets up account. Yeah, exactly. You can use it as an accountability guide for yourself. And even, as you develop these things, really start to put these things actually into your Google Calendar as it splices out. For the images in my book, I actually utilized ChatGPT 4, and I'm going to show you guys while we're in this. So actually, what I did was I trained my AI model to develop different characters. And there's even more capabilities in this now, but I'm going to show you guys. So essentially, what I did is I trained the model to say, okay, this is what my character Alcaria looks like. And I did some different prototyping and models with it. And I did different generations. And when I was finally happy with the character creation, what I did was then I used that one as an image reference. And I began to communicate back and forth with that same character in different scenes. So then I began to really tune in, and then I began to essentially plan out different aspects of the book based on what I was imagining. So I went back and forth, back and forth. Um, and I also edited some of this in Canva as well. It was quite a process, but it was like when you start to play around with it, it's amazing, honestly. And you're able to really customize it in a lot of ways, Like even small tweaks like this, you see how like I asked her to put a crystal and then that one came out, but I wanted it more like that one. There's so many different ways, even changing the outfits of the characters and things like that. But you can really start to play around once you have the concepts and placing it in. Yes. Does anyone have any other questions for me at this time? So cool, right? I know. Okay, so thank you guys so much for coming. Yeah, you could also take a picture and make it a cartoon. That is true too. One thing that if you take a picture, what you have to train the ChatGPT with is like saying to it, use this character as a reference for the book that I'm making. Like you want to basically describe to it as much as possible what you're creating so that it has that reference. So the more that you're able to describe it, the more that you're able to actually tune into that. Um, so basically, you know, following this, wrapping it all up, summing it all up, what quantum leaping is tuning into those versions of you, tuning in to your highest potential reality, staying consistent with your goals, taking aligned action towards your goals, really taking the time to know what that version of you looks like, and then taking the steps to become that version of you. It's about allowing yourself to not be intimidated by a gap. It's all about allowing yourself to tune into the frequency of who you can become. And as you step in to that frequency, you'll naturally make the shifts. You'll naturally become that person, and then you'll naturally manifest. It's all a process and it's a different timeline for everyone. Before you guys go, I'll share some of my offerings in case anyone wants to work with me more deeply and things like that. One thing is one of my major platforms, I do a lot of content on Instagram, including sharing little tutorials and things like that. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Alicia Munian. And the recording for this is also going to be available. I'm going to email it to everyone who signed up. So one of the things that I'm currently offering is this July, I'm actually doing a retreat in Costa Rica for anyone who's interested in traveling and exploring and expanding to the next version of you. Essentially, this retreat is going to be all about resetting and tapping into what's possible for you. So basically, it's going to be at Imaloa in Costa Rica, and we only have actually 5 slots left. This is going to be a larger retreat. We have about 20 people signed up already, and only 5 slots are left. So I'm super excited about it. I'm actually working with a team of other facilitators. We're going to be doing breath work. We're going to be doing hypnotherapy and empowerment. It's going to have a private vegan chef. We're going to go on adventures. It's going to be amazing. So, yeah, and there's going to be kirtan, there's going to be hypnotherapy, healing, ecstatic dance, cacao ceremonies, and there's so much magic that's happening. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely let me know because we only have 5 slots left, and it's going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited for that. Um, and yeah, like literally this will be your view if you can come. So, and if not, like, and you're interested in a future Costa Rica retreat, also let me know because I'm going to be hosting more. It's actually going to be July 8th through the 12th. So definitely let me know if you are interested soon. Another thing that I do is I do private hypnotherapy sessions. So if you received a lot from today's session and you want to work more in a one-on-one basis, I offer like monthly packages for hypnotherapy. If you're looking to like really make consistent action in your life, I do personalized recordings if you're trying to let go of specific things. And I also do personal development sessions to help you with your projects, your goals, your guidelines for your business, and just getting on track with different things. One of my specialties is also marketing. So I also build websites and I do design work for other entrepreneurs as well who are looking to expand their businesses. So, there's a few things to think about, if you wanted to work more deeply and if you just want to take today and expand into that, that's totally fine too. I'm so grateful to be able to do this work because this is truly my purpose in life is to offer these spaces to people, is to expand people into their power. And I truly believe that we all have magic inside of ourselves. And, it's all about loving ourselves into that version of you. It's all about loving ourselves into what we are capable of. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm also going to drop my WhatsApp in the chat if you guys are interested, and it was also in the last email if you wanted to send me a message. I am always open, ready to chat, and so grateful. I'm sending you all so much love, and if you have any questions or anything, you can always send me a message. I am grateful. Yay! Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you so much. Yay. Oh, thank you. And thank you to Mind Bodyism for also supporting this event. Thank you so much for inviting your community as well. That meant so much to me. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm glad that we got to extend the impact with this. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It was a lovely session, and I want. That's why my aim is to just help more people like you to
Yes.
show the service because you have such a beautiful energy, and I'm sure like people are really appreciated your session and your time for this. So really, I
Thank
want to thank you for this, and also to the mind buddhism, I have like one of the WhatsApp groups. He's a part of the best-selling author. So I think you have created children book, or whoever has maybe join this book. And then what I'm planning to do is like maybe like next month, or have like all the authors present their books, and then
Oh,
with
I love
links, and
that.
so people can just see the great work we're all doing. So
Oh my
because
God.
my
Yeah, I
mission is
love
to
that
impact.
so much. I would love to. That's so amazing.
Yes, yes. So, and you'll do like also like if you have like any other webinars, I'm happy to promote, or anyone in this group or chat, if you're doing
Yes.
something to help other people, I'm happy to help you as well. I'm in the mission of helping 1 billion people till 30 November 2030. So that's 5 years from now. And I do have like weekly sessions which I provide support in different areas. So yes, Alicia, I really love your energy and this
Thank you
session.
so
So
much.
we'll drop you a note after this call.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'm so grateful. I'm
Thank
so glad.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay, such a
Thank
blessing
you.
to connect.
Thank you,
Yay.
Alicia. Thank you.
And
Bye
I'll
bye.
send the recording out to everyone.